We use words in our language today that we do not understand what they meant when those words were first invented, if you will. I'd like to use the word negative for my example. Today, in modern times, people use the word negative, they think it means pessimistic. And they use the word positive and they think that means optimistic. Well, if you apply that to the car battery, it doesn't make any sense. You got this negative post, which means it's, by our language today, or our understanding of the language today, it means the negative post would be pessimistic post, and the car battery's positive post, being positive, would be the optimistic post. So, there's something missing here, right? And I know for a fact that when we do not understand what the originators of the words meant by the word, and we just use the word today without that meaning, we lose the knowledge that they had. We lose information that they had by not understanding what they meant by the words they were using. And as time went on, these words just became in common use and nobody knew what they meant anymore. And the word negative and positive are perfect examples. When somebody says to me, don't be negative, I always tell them, well, please don't say that to my car battery. The car battery has a negative and a positive post. And so this idea of negative with regards to the battery can't be bad. There's some functionality there that is good. So I began to think on it, right? And making a long story short here, negative means feminine, positive means a union of the feminine and the masculine. You would think I was going to say that negative means feminine and positive means masculine, but that is not true. If you look at the symbol for positive, it's a combination or a compound of symbols. There's two marks that make a plus, if you will. Okay? One of those marks is a horizontal line. The other one is a vertical line. In antiquity, without any doubt, the horizontal line was a symbol for the feminine principle, not women in particular, but the feminine principle, not the personification of it. And the vertical line, the phallus, was a symbol for the masculine principle. And just to give you a quick clue, feminine could be viewed as intake and masculine could be viewed as exhaust. That's kind of off the track here, but just to lay that on you. Now, when you see a symbol of a plus or a positive, you're looking at two symbols. You're looking at a horizontal line and a vertical line. The horizontal line is a symbol or a sign of the feminine, and the vertical line being a symbol of the masculine, and the plus sign is a combination of those both, of the feminine principle and the masculine principle together, creating force, power, energy, if you will. But if the negative post is not grounded, I don't care, you got two poles, but if one isn't grounded, then it's not going to exhaust out the other side. That's getting away from it a little bit too. But anyway, if you're in the Army and you want to say not present or no or none, you would use the word negative. And if you wanted to say present or yes, there is, you would use the word affirmative. Okay? So this really describes the principles the best, at least at this time for this video. The feminine is not present, but that does not mean that the feminine is non-existent. Just being not present doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Okay, so there's another trail we could get on, but I'm not going to right now. So the feminine means not present. And symbolism, it could be a veil, darkness, the esoteric, the hidden, space, not present, but definitely existing. Just invisible, if you will, is another word for negative. And that when we go to the opposites, we call that feminine. But that's really what it means. It means the invisible, the hidden, that which is not present, its potential in holding. It's full potential, but it's not potent yet. You see, that's the feminine. And then the masculine, which is a vertical line, or a symbol of a vertical line. The vertical line is a symbol of this masculine principle. This is exposed to the five senses. It's in reality. You have this actuality, which is hidden, the inner you dealing with the invisible things. That's the hidden, the feminine. Then you have this outer you that's dealing with reality and matter and the five senses. That's the masculine. So the inner you is the hidden you, and that would be your feminine you is your hidden inner you, and your masculine you is what you see in the mirror, the five senses and the physical and all that stuff. A car battery works to delivers power because there is a negative or a not present pole, and then there's the positive or sort of present pole. And this is a really big secret. You have the negative pole, which would be the feminine pole, and then you have the positive pole, which is a combination of the feminine or negative pole and the other pole, which I call masculine. But that pole is the outlet for what the feminine is streaming through it. And if you understand the battery or any of this stuff, it's actually like a double waveform, like an 8, figure 8. And just a marvelous meditation, really, when you get into it in yourself, that when you're looking at a battery, a car battery, or a plus symbol, and you see all the wires attached to it that are running the whole car, you don't understand that. You don't at first think about it, but all of that power that's going off and running the lights and the car stereo and the heater and everything is actually coming from the not present. Just disconnect the what you call the ground cable or the negative cable, and you won't have any power in the battery at all. But the ground cable's connected to the damn frame of the car. It's connected to nothing. Well, we think is nothing, We think that the battery, everything coming off that positive cable, that's everything, but it's not the source of its own existence, its own power. Without that negative ground, which is going to like nothing, ground, you wouldn't have anything coming out the positive end. So when we use the words negative and positive, we ought to be a little more conscientious about what it is we're saying, because what we really mean is don't be pessimistic or optimistic, and we should start using the words negative and positive to think on the idea of something that is not present but existent, and then something that is seemingly present and existent, but not as two different things. That which is not present but existent, and that which is present, if you will, and existent, they're not two different things. They're a combination of the both. A little more on this later, because it's really worth a lot more discovery and discussion. The negative is that which is not present but is existent, and that's space, man. And time is that which is present and existent. That which is not present but existent is eternal, and that which is present and existent is temporal. And the real trick is to triangulate those both. Talk about that later. Enjoyed having the conversation for you all.